Hey there, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about spite and projection. In particular, how these topics directly correlate with my current situation. So, most of you guys know that have been watching my episodes that the center topic of this playlist here is what's going on with my sister in a long time ongoing battle that we've been having. Before I always thought that this was like a civil rivalry, for mom's attention kind of deal. And I thought that that's kind of what we were fighting over all these years, right? Because my mom would kind of just like blindly defend my sister, and at that, I would feel like my sister has my mother's attention over me. You see what I'm saying? And at that, my sister was winning. Now, keep in mind, this center of attention type thing can be brought back all the way back to like the divorce, right? And I had brought up in another video, my sister would be leaving crayon notes from my mom on her bed, right? And my mom showed a couple of her friends. There's people out there that know about those and will probably remember them. But she would be coming to me talking about two Christmases. Right? It'd be two Christmases. It'd be two Christmases. Right? At the time, I was what? Well, I was a little kid. I was like 8 years old. I didn't know the meaning of two Christmases. You know? Come on now. So, either way. So we had found a little piece of supporting evidence that kind of shows that I might be wrong. And this battle with my sister, I think might be just over plain out spite, average everyday spite, right? Uh, so, my sister, I brought up in other videos, here's a piece of supporting evidence, it's always midnight, past midnight. When I got swatted, it was like 11:22 p.m., I believe, when the doorbell hit. Um, right. So the story that we had now come up on, and I thought was good enough to make a video on, that kind of might show kind of why somebody's so spiteful, right? And like I brought up in high school, it's like a bully. It's like dealing with like a high school bully. The bully doesn't have anything personally against this kid, right? They just kind of get off on beating him up, and that's how I've been feeling for years, right? Anybody that knows me will probably agree to that. So this is my sister's house. At least this is where she lives, right? When they bought their house, it was similar to mine. They bought it like a move-in ready gut job. They had to like remodel it and stuff. They bought it. I think it was a foreclosure when they bought it. But nowadays, right, looking great, right? Um, when we bought our house, the deed to the house looked like this, and if I blow it up, see the top paragraph, it'll say, right, I, Mrs. Wilcox of Coventry, right, give her, sell her property, 307,000 to Victoria Kiesling and Brian Ferreira as joint tenants, right? My name before marriage was Ferreira. I took my wife's name in marriage as I don't have any relationship with my family, right? And the girls of my family spooked away my dad a long time ago. So I took my father-in-law's name. He only had two daughters, right? And here we are today. So these documents are from the U.S. Land Records Trust website. They are marked unofficial copy because I did not pay. Just like I say in any information I use here can be freely acquired by anybody online, right? It's all public knowledge. I don't pay for it. I don't try to cross any lines that could be considered doxing, as it is private knowledge of any kind or independently owned copies of whatever something might be. Right? Even my pictures are sourced from Facebook and stuff like this, so they are now open to the public as they are shared publicly. So over here, the Bank of New York apparently had this house in foreclosure, and we are going to see that the only attended buyer is Dave J. Paull. My sister's not on the deed to this house, right? So that's what came up peculiar. Now, any of my sister's neighbors will know, right? When they first got this house and they got married, they had a little bonfire in their front yard, right? Ask my sister about some wedding pictures or to see her wedding dress nowadays, right? And she won't be able to show it to you. She's bragged to a lot of people about burning it because she caught Dave cheating with the maid of honor, right? My sister's maid of honor, Jody Matusak, right? And that's a real life story, right? A lot of people know. Now, normally I would not talk about such things, right? Especially public like here. But yet, in prior videos, we've showed the accusations made against me and things that will be said towards me against things like losing a baby and stuff like this. So at this point, fangs are out. And as Rambo would say, she drew first blood. Right? So we've come across this now, right? And the reason why this is particular and enough to make a video over is because when you have years of marauding harassments, right? You ask Coke or whatever she said, you move on, right? Like in all this, you junkie lose whatever, man. It's all crap, right? And it depicts the narrative that she's wanted to paint for me for years. Imagine going your whole career bullying a kid, right? And beating him up at every freaking turn, showing him how small he is and all that stuff. And then that kid grows to be bigger and more powerful than you. Imagine that, right? And imagine he actually owns a house and not you. And imagine that his small businesses are still thriving and growing one off the other. And your little sweet shop got shut down because you couldn't take a cease and assist order because you stole the name and you didn't even Google that shit before you made a big old sign, right? Maybe it starts to show why she treats me the way that she does, right? I've been thinking all this time, maybe, I did do wrong things when I was in active addiction, right? And maybe I did wrong things to deserve this and whatnot. But I've been clean for 7 years. At this point, I think I can selfishly and rightfully say, I don't deserve this, right? No matter what I might have done in the past, I stole mom's bracelet, whatever. I didn't do anything personally to you. Why do you hate me so much? Why are you pushing me out so bad, right? And this is why, right? She really wants to keep that junky narrative, right? So that she can have a way to show the world that I'm a bigger loser than her. See what I mean? Right? And to think, too, I didn't get my mom co-signing loans for college, for cars to get there to college, to nothing. No, I got jailed by my family. I got set back 10 steps by my family. My sister got given 10 steps. My mom helped her raise the baby. My mom's helped her at every turn in her life. And yet still, right? Why isn't she on the deed to the house? Right? It doesn't make any sense. Your husband, is there a problem with trust? Is that right? Is this better than a prenuptial agreement to just keep you off the deed? Right? Because maybe your husband's smart enough and he sees how the other women in the family are moving in on guys and they're getting their names on deeds and they're not contributing to the house at all. And we got literally the trophy wife gold digger situation everywhere. And maybe Dave was finally the one guy smart enough to break the cycle and kept you off the deed out of self-preservation. Maybe we're getting somewhere, right? And maybe it shows why she hates me so much. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. I really think we're getting somewhere, and I really think we're working towards closure. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.